What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky with Videohomicide, back with a very special installment of the VHS collection. This is all the sealed movies I have, probably about 20 of them, I would say. So I don't actively collect sealed tapes, but if I see one that I like and it's like a movie that I love, I'll definitely pick the shit up. So we're going to start it off with a classic. I believe it's from 1971. We've got Gene Hackman in The French Connection, directed by William Friedkin, who of course also did The Exorcist. This is a good flick. If you've not watched it, highly recommended. It's one of my favorites. It's been a while since I watched it. I do have it on DVD, but I'd like to check this out probably in the next couple of years just to refresh myself. Even French Connection 2, I like that movie too, so I would go ahead and check out both flicks. I think that he won 5 Academy Awards. Like the fucking Academy Awards matter to me, but it just kind of drives home the point that the movie is got qualities to it that a vast majority of audience respects, if you get what I'm saying. So we got French Connection there. Next, we're gonna move on to another classic. This is picked up for $1. We've got, I believe, from I don't remember the exact year, but we got Creature from the Black Lagoon from the classic collection Universal Monster line. This is the MCA Universal. This is the spine that I grew up with a lot of the monster flicks that I had. My dad had. He only had 3, or excuse me, he had 4 that were store-bought tapes. Then he had some taped ones. But Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, and the Wolfman. Those are the Universal monsters to me. I do respect Creature from the Black Lagoon, but I honestly prefer those other ones. I actually prefer Bride of Frankenstein over all of those combined, to be honest with you. I love that shit, but Creature is definitely a good flick to check out. If you've not seen it and you're trying to, get yourself, if you're trying to dive into the Universal monsters, this is one that you cannot, you can't miss this one, but those other ones I just do like better personally. Next, we got a box set. This is something really cool. This is a series that I love. I've talked about with my brother. We've watched them many times. We've got the Lethal Weapon complete series. Now, these tapes I put in here. These are not the tapes that came in here. I actually, and also I couldn't find part 2 from this box, so I actually had to tape a bootleg copy and put it onto a blank and then put it into the case because I lost it. But right here we got the director's cut of Lethal Weapon 1, 2, and 3, and then the regular standard edition of Lethal Weapon 4. Pretty sure there's not a director's cut of Lethal Weapon 4. I think Richard Donner might have passed away, if maybe not, but I don't know what that's all about, because I've also got the DVD set, and it doesn't have a director's cut for number 4. So love Riggs, love Murtaugh, I love Leo Getz, I love Mr. Joshua. I love the Lethal Weapon franchise. It's probably my favorite franchise of all time, and that's including Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Jaws, all the franchise, Child's Play. If I didn't mention that one, just all of those types of things. Like, I think this is the ace in the hole, man, or the 8-ball in the corner pocket, whatever the fuck. Love this shit. I'm not going to deal with that right now. So moving on, we've got some Herschel Gordon Lewis. Yes, we've got 2000 Maniacs. I forget where I picked this up and how much I paid for it, but it's put out by VSC, which I believe is a Canadian-owned company. But if you've not seen 2000 Maniacs, watch it in conjunction with Color Me Blood Red and Blood Feast. My personal favorite is Color Me Blood Red. It's about a painter who, is kind of, struggling with his art, and he ends up finding out that blood is a very scrumptious color of red, and he starts using his own blood, then using his girlfriend's blood, and then killing people, and it's really fucking good. But 2000 Maniacs is all about, this group of young kids. They stumble upon this hick town, and it's the bicentennial. And they all get fucked around in different various ways. I believe there's a scene where like a big rock falls on a dude. Me and my dad watched this movie like years ago, and we still joke about the music all throughout this. And he has his own version. He's like, in the movie, it's like, and the South will rise again. But my fucking dad would say, and the pus ran out of his cock. Like, dirty jokes, okay? The dirtiest. But 2000 Maniacs. Next, we got one that is sealed, but it is open, like, at the top, which is fucking weird. But we've got the War of the Worlds. So someone once paid $14.99, then $11.99, then $8.99, and it says if you liked ID4, you'll love War of the Worlds. War of the Worlds from, I believe, 1952, a classic science fiction flick. Love this movie. It's one of my dad's favorite movies. We've watched it countless times. I love it. I love. This is like the extent, like War of the Worlds and Godzilla. I think those are my two favorite sci-fi 50s films. Now I know there's many other good ones. The Fly, The Thing. The Blob. The Blob is another great one that I love, but this is one that really strikes a chord with me just because of how many times I've seen it. Speak of the devil, we've got Godzilla. This is the Raymond Burr film, of course, which is, it happens. I much rather prefer to watch the 1954 original release with the subtitles. I don't give a fuck. We're still dealing with these pussy fucking little cunts that there's subtitles. Oh, it's black and white. I can't watch it. Grow up. Go fucking watch a TikTok video, you little fucking cocksucker. I hate people that can't give old media or old movies a shot just based off black and white or subtitles. You guys are fags. Grow up. Godzilla King of the Monsters, again, $1. Can't go wrong. This is a random one. I don't have many sealed kung fu flicks, but this is Blood of the Dragon, which is a movie I also have on DVD. I've never personally watched it, but it's starting to kind of look. It's not looking too rough, but the plastic is very, it's not it's not like this plastic. This is good plastic, I would say. This is shit. Okay. Next, another heavy hitter flick. We've got Alien, the original Alien, directed by who directed this again? Ridley Scott? No, I'm tripping. I'm gonna look like a fucking amateur in a second here if I don't know who directed this. I could have swore it was Ridley Scott. Or yeah, it is Ridley Scott. Boom, I was right. Love this flick. I like Aliens more, but I do really like Alien. One of my favorite films of all time. This is a holy grail find for me. I still kept the $1 sticker on it. John Woo's The Killer, one of my favorite films, period. I put this movie up with movies like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I put it up there with movies like, City of the Living Dead. All the movies that I love, The Killer is fucking crazy good. Oh man, this one, this kind of sucks, but James Caan just recently passed away. Here we've got Thief, sealed. I actually was painting my basement, and this fell into the paint, and you can watch. I'm going to peel the paint off right here on camera. Boom. Thief. I've never seen this flick. Maybe I have. Maybe I might be getting this confused with Cop, with James Woods, but there it is. Here's a film I've watched a million times. Boys in the Hood, John Singleton's debut film, baby. This is fucking awesome. I love this flick. Me and my dad have watched this a million times. I love my favorite part of this film is everything involving Furious Styles, played by Lawrence Fishburne, who I love. I think he's one of my favorite actors. It's in Boys in the Hood, this movie, when he's talking to Trey when they're fishing, and he's like, yeah, do you remember my friend, fucking Jimmy or whatever? Yeah, he got into robbing people and all that, and he wanted me to come along. I like to think that his character in King of New York is the guy he's talking about. You know what I mean? Really good stuff. Classic poster right here. We got Trey, played by Cuba Gooding Jr. We got Doughboy, played by Cube, and we've got Ricky, played by Morris Chestnut, who was in another flick. I believe he was in that movie called The Wash, or not The Wash, excuse me, The Wood. The Wood. It's a movie. I remember I seen it one time. And then I looked it up, and then I watched it again. But it's about these three guys, and the one guy's about to get married, and then he ends up taking off, and they two of his groomsmen find him, and they just sort of reminisce about their younger days. And there's a really cool scene involving a robbery at a variety store, and a lot of Bloods and Crips, and just all that kind of stuff. But really good stuff. So I recommend checking out The Wood, but I definitely recommend checking out Boys in the Hood if you've not seen it. This is a good flick, a good family flick with what I consider a good ending, even though it is sad in a way. Complete and total spoiler alert right here. At the end of the film, when the text comes up that Doughboy went and saw his brother get murdered, or saw his brother get buried, and then 2 weeks later he was murdered. That was sort of expected with the lifestyle that Doughboy was living, whereas Trey, it says that he goes to Georgetown College, I believe it's in Atlanta, and then his girlfriend goes to the college that's like across the street, which is like perfect, you know, and like the good characters, because like Doughboy had it in him, I think, to be a good guy in this flick, but it wasn't in the cards for him, you know, and I think he has one of the greatest character introductions, even though it's his character introduction from the later half of his life, like after, you know, like, because the movie starts off almost like a Stand By Me kind of way, like they go to see this body, and it's way more sort of realistic to me than Stand By Me, even though I love Stand By Me, but and then it jumps forward after, you know, maybe 10 years or so, and they go into a barbecue, and the camera tracks all through this barbecue, and then it just goes to Cube, and he just fucking slams a domino down. He goes, "Domino, motherfucker, what you think about that?" Like, that is like, this might be sacrilegious or blasphemous or whatever, but I don't give a fuck. I think that character introduction is almost as good as Quint's character introduction in Jaws, when he's scratching the thing and then he goes into his whole spiel. But I just love this, and I love how he's talking about, like, you know, the one guy, Dookie, he's like, "Yeah, I get pussy," and he's like, "Yeah, you get that dopehead pussy." Like, just the conversation, it's so well crafted, and just like a good story quality flick. Boys in the Hood. Next, I've never even opened this, never even seen it, but it's a documentary directed by John Landis, and it's narrated by Jamie Lee Curtis. It's called Coming Soon, and it's got you know, the Universal monsters on the cover. It's scenes from the 50 Universal's greatest horror films, narrated by Jamie Lee Curtis. So if anyone's seen that, let me know if that's any good. Next, another banger, another classic, Stanley Kubrick's, I believe 1971, possibly 1972, A Clockwork Orange, which is like one of the quintessential gang movies. I would, you know, if you watch this, like, double feature this with like The Warriors, I think you're gonna have a really fucking good time, because this movie is batshit, very, very graphic at times, very funny at times, serious at times. I think it's an all-around amazing movie. It's all about the tragic life of Alex Delage. I've actually read the book, and it's really fucking good. You know, I don't think much needs to be said about this, other than my favorite scene. My favorite moment is probably when you get that close-up of Alex. He's driving the car, and he's like, it purred along, real horror show. Like, just his fucking way of talking is so goddamn cool. Clockwork Orange. Oh, and my other favorite part is probably the fight that they have, like, in that old derelict casino. I just love that shit. Next, we've got this. I seen on eBay for like $3,000 one time, because people are fucking ridiculous. We've got Fright Night. Yes, I believe from 1984, or maybe 1985, directed by Tom Holland, who I believe also did Child's Play. Great vampire film. Stars, what the hell's his name? Chris Sarandon, Roddy McDowall. What's the dude's name? Is it William Ragsdale, I guess? Stephen Jeffries, I know he's Evil Ed. So this is a great vampire film. It was remade. I watched the first remake, and I was indifferent on it. I could probably watch it again and it'd be fine. But I really like this movie. I love the special effects. I love the romanticism in certain scenes. I love the way that Chris Sarandon looks as a vampire. It's really good stuff. So, Fright Night. We're down to the final three right now. So here's a good one that I know everyone is going to love. We've got Akira, which is, you know, the animated film of all this in heavy metal. Shout out to my boy VZ Manis. He just watched Heavy Metal. I seen it on his Instagram thing. But fucking love Akira, man. It's such a good flick. Kind of hard to explain, but, you know, I love the way this movie opens. How, like, you know, you got Kanata, who's our main character, and he's like down in this bar. He's like putting money in a jukebox, and then his buddy comes in and he's like, "Yeah, we got them trapped in an alley." And, like, you know, they have that interaction with the bartender where he's like, "You guys get out of here if you're not going to buy anything." And he's like, "What, you think I'm going to drink your horse piss?" Like, just Akira, dude. Second last, one of my this is my favorite Bruce Lee flick. Chinese Connection, love it, absolutely love it. Love the ending. You know, if you've not watched this, but you like Enter the Dragon and you know, Return of the Dragon, like all that kind of stuff, like any Bruce Lee film, if you've not watched Chinese Connection, dude, just watch this shit. It's fucking phenomenal. All right, now we are on to the last film. I paid $10 for this. I mentioned it in a pickup video when I did get it, but we've got Roman Polanski, even though he's a fucking diddler, like Victor Salva, you know, he's a piece of shit, but they made good fucking movies. Rosemary's Baby. Yes, these, you know, Hail Satan. Fuck, man. God damn. I love Rosemary's Baby. I'm not even going to say anything about it. I just love it. My favorite part of that film is anything that has to do with the old fuckers across the hall. I just think they're funny. I love the chick. She's like, you know, you just take this and it'll make the baby grow and all that shit. But yes, that is the sealed VHS collection. I'm, you know, stoked that whoever watched the video in its entirety, I totally appreciate it. If you can, leave a 666 in the comments. Let me know what you think of this fucking stack. If you've got any sealed collection of your own or sealed tapes of your own, let me know what you got. And yeah, with that being said, hope you guys have an amazing weekend. My oven is going off. My lasagna is finished. And with that being said, adios.